Hello, everyone. I hope you are not sick and I hope you're doing well. Yes. The flu is going around, everyone's sneezing and coughing, and the weather is cold. So if you're not feeling well, I wish you well. And if you are well, please take care of yourself, okay? Seriously, it's a crazy season we're going through right now. But let me talk about something. If you're practicing a language, especially English, and you're figuring out how can I speak, well, let me share you some personal experiences, some tips that may be useful for you to try. You don't have to try all of them. But if you're keen, you can try at least one out of the 5 that I will share with you today. Here are 5 ways to practice output. You'll be very surprised at the first one. Number 1, you can try to sing and dance. Okay, wait. Yes, I'm not kidding when I say this. Why don't you consider singing in a karaoke, or singing by yourself, or singing to your favorite English language song? You might think it's a little bit ridiculous, but this can be very useful. So when you sing, you can hear how the words are expressed in a song, the emotions that come with it, the way how people say the word. It's not like saying, I like fried chicken. We don't say that, right? We say with enthusiasm, I guess, and I hope, I like fried chicken. By the way, that's my favorite food. And in song, it's a very fun way and authentic way of expressing your ideas. Yes, you don't have to be perfect to sing. You don't have to have a good voice either. But I think singing is a good way to express those ideas, using the words and sentences and expressions that you learn and putting that into practice when you don't have anyone to talk to. One way you can do it is through karaoke, right? So yes, it doesn't have to be perfect, but as long as you try it out with your favorite song from your favorite artist, it can be a very fun and entertaining experience, especially if you're starting out. If you're asking me for recommendations, it's a whole nother video, okay? But we'll save that for next time. But start with your favorite English language musician, singer, songwriter, or band. It doesn't matter. Anything helps, okay? So that's one fun tip, fun way that you can practice your output. Here's another one. Yes, I am on YouTube. You're watching this on YouTube. But have you ever practiced saying what the other YouTubers say on YouTube? Well, this is your chance. Shadowing, as a lot of people in the language learning field use, is a very useful way. Now, it doesn't have to be just YouTube videos, okay? But it can also be videos or audio podcasts of different materials. News reports, documentaries, movies, or even scenes from a drama or from a show. You don't have to read it or word by script, but to shadow, to copy, to follow along is a good way to have a visual cue of how to say and express these ideas. And it can be very useful in understanding, how do I say this word? How do I express it? That counts as output. If not original output, but practicing how to say the output so that when you get to the point that, oh, now I can say, this is delicious. This fried chicken is so good. At least you can say it with authenticity and emotion. Sorry, I know I keep saying fried chicken, but I love fried chicken, okay? If you have any recommendations, please tell me. Let me move on. The third way to practice output. Here's another idea that you may consider. Writing. You might be running away from the screen right now and be like, writing? I can't do that. Me neither. When I tried to practice in basic Japanese recently, especially writing emails, chat messages, it was hard. It was not easy. And sometimes I would have to rely on online tools like translation tools to not copy paste, but see how these ideas can be expressed from one language to another. And there's different styles in different ways, and this goes the same with English as well. So how can you write English? You can write letters, handwritten letters to maybe a friend or a pen pal in English. You can write emails in English and use the tools that you have to practice and see how it would sound like. You can write a blog, actually. Yes, blogs are still a thing, and it's more useful and important than ever with the amount of information that is out there. It's always good to hear different voices and perspectives, and even writing, blogging can be a very good tool to practice it. And remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. We're not publishing for a newspaper here. You're expressing your ideas online in English to get your output out there, because that's the main point. And remember, that's actually the goal, output. So writing, blogging, or if you're too shy, if you have a good friend or family member or anyone that you can talk to, that you can comfortably express your ideas in English, just chatting, chit chat, sending text messages, besides stickers, chatting with your friend in English can also be a good way to practice output if you're not sure where to start. But speaking of meeting people, here's another way of practicing your output. The most common, I guess, for most people who are just starting out, meeting people who speak the same language you're learning or studying. Yes, meeting people face to face who speak English is a very authentic and real way of practicing. And because English is such a diverse and international language, there's so much opportunity to practice and to hear and practice and express your output in many ways possible face to face. Of course, we do it here at the school, but in your situation, whether you're just young or just getting started, or you reach a certain age in your life and you want to brush up, there are so many approaches to do it. Go out there, meet some groups. There's like clubs, speech clubs, groups of language learners, even meetups. Maybe you can be a very wonderful tourist guide, or you can even do workshops cooking in English, anything that will give you the chance to practice your output face to face. I think that is as important and as relevant as ever. So try that out face to face. That's another way that you can do that. But if you really want to challenge yourself, how about surrounding yourself with people who speak English from 3 to 93? I am very serious when I say this. As young as 3 or 4 years old. It's so fascinating to hear people speak the language you're learning in a very different shape or form. Someone who's young as 3 years old would say, "Mama, mama, food." Or someone who's even 13 years old and you're trying to figure out what is that person saying. Kind of like, what is that thing that is so riz and, people saying 6, 7. Yes, that is a thing nowadays and even I still don't get it. Each group of people has their own way of expressing ideas. And I think for a language learner, for anyone, I think that is a very handy skill to have to understand how you can communicate to each other. So yeah, go for it. Yes. Diversify the ways you can practice your output. I think it will really be helpful for you in the future, the same way it has helped me when I was learning languages, and I still do, including English. No, really, seriously. But here's the thing, with all that, and I'm gonna wrap it up with this, here's some tips to make that happen. 1, don't be shy, okay? Just do it. Okay, just do it. Even, no matter how ridiculous it is, just do it, okay? Number 2, when in doubt, it's okay to ask. And it's okay to ask several times. Because you ask doesn't mean that you are dumb. That it means that you are trying to make an effort to understand. But to make sure that the other person, or both you and the other person, understands what you're talking about, there has to be a safe and welcoming aura, space for you to communicate these ideas. So, yeah, if someone asks you in reverse as well, just be nice, be friendly, be patient. Because I think that friendliness, that kindness really goes back. And when you have that kindness, that communication can go back and forth very smoothly, no matter how many times you try to express the idea. I think that is very important when you try to practice your output, right? Because if you're saying your output, you're not saying it in front of the sky. Of course, I'm sure you're saying that output, not just for yourself, but to someone as well. I think that's the reason why we're practicing communication, especially in a second language, for most of us, which would be English. Listen, take the patience to listen, take the time to listen, and make sure that the other side listens to you. If you like talking, make sure that you get the other person to listen to you. If you're the quiet type, make sure that you can say something, please. Yes. Don't let your personality be your barrier. Just say it, okay? The last one, number 5, and here's my last tip, which would be very useful. Build a word bank. List of words. Write it down. Put it in some notebook. If you have a set of grammar that you think you're going to be using every single time, every day, write it down. Take note of it. Practice it. Because these little pieces all count towards trying to practice your output. And it takes time. It's not perfect. I can't communicate perfectly. Even I sometimes go round and round and round with my ideas, and I can't get straight to the point. So let me get straight to the point here. Yes, you have so many ways to practice your output, but the most important thing out of everything, if you can take away anything from it, just do it. Just do it. Just start by saying a word, and from words it becomes sentences, and from sentences it becomes a conversation. And I think that's the beauty of practicing your output and sharing your ideas in a conversation. See, that was too long, right? But I hope you enjoyed. I hope that even by listening or seeing or watching this or looking through those captions that are right below me, I'm assuming it's there, that you can find this very useful. And probably in the next video, I'll try to share something fun. Maybe something about my favorite food. Did I say that I like fried chicken? Yes. Please give me some suggestions because I'm getting very hungry. But yes, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye bye.